I give you the context.
I give you the history.
I fight fake news with facts.
Kayode. No, Kayode, I will let you talk. Kayode, I will let you talk if you let me talk. Kayode.
That's why more and more Lagosians are tuning in.
500,000 Lagosians.
720,000.
970,000.
Over 1 million Lagosians, they know that if you give me your afternoon, I will give you hard facts.
Well done, Sandra, on all you do, going beyond the headlines and focusing on the facts.
I am Sandra Ezekwesili, and these are your hard facts.
First hard fact of the day: 128 new confirmed COVID cases over the weekend. That's 31 cases more than last weekend. We're now averaging about 40 cases a day. So keep your guard up, limit your movement to the essential things, and when you're going out, wear a mask. Keep your distance where possible. Wash and sanitize your hands as often as you can. Second hard fact of the day: the Senate public hearings on restructuring are this week. Wednesday and Thursday, 10 a.m. That's when it's happening. The Lagos venue is Marriott Hotel in Ikeja GRA. So if you want to attend this public hearing, and I recommend that you do, go ahead and make it down to the public hearings on restructuring this week, Wednesday and Thursday, 10 a.m. Now remember that if you want to present a memorandum, you have to bring 1 soft copy and 5 hard copies. Also, your group can only have 3 people, maximum 3 people. Third hard fact of the day: Nigeria's GDP grew by 0.5% last quarter. It's better than a drop, honestly, but it's not quite as good as many people had hoped. Now, remember that our population is growing by 2.6%, right? So the economists always say that what they hope happens is that the economy can grow faster than 2.6% at least. But I mean, I thought not about pass, Abby. Well, one number that keeps growing is Hard Facts listeners. 1 million Lagosians. They cannot be wrong. So keep listening to Hard Facts. Starting with the big weekend, we'll talk about the death and burial of the Chief of Army Staff. Then let's talk about the government's plan to register your IMEI numbers. And then let's talk about Southwest APC leaders agreeing with the Asaba Accord. And then we'll talk about a clash between Air Force personnel and NURTW members in Oshodi. Chukudi will bring you checkpoints today from 4 o'clock, and at 5 we will talk about civil service reform. All of last week we're talking about the NLC strike in Kaduna over the state government's plan to lay off thousands of workers, right? They've come to an agreement finally over how the layoffs should take place and how deep the cuts should go. But that story is really about the conflict between cutting costs and keeping jobs. How can government balance both while improving service delivery? That's what the real conflict is. That's the question at the heart of civil service reform. And we're going to try and answer that question at 5 o'clock with Chief Andy Oboforibo. Now, news updates, like I told you earlier on, will come your way at the top of every hour. If you want to win on just a minute on this show in particular, you have to pay attention to every single thing that I say. Seriously, every single thing I say. That's where the questions come from. That's how you win. That's how you get the highest score of the day and walk away with 10,000 naira. But hey, Lagos, I'm Sandra Ezekwesili, and these are your hard facts.
The big weekend.
Why didn't the president or vice president attend General Attahiru's funeral? Does government have the legal right to get your device IMEI numbers from Telcos? Did you witness the clash between NURTW and the Air Force personnel in Oshodi? And what does the APC Southwest Leadership support of the Asaba Accord spell? It was a really big weekend. It was so difficult to trim the stories down to these. But yeah, let's talk about it. The biggest story by far was obviously the death of the Chief of Army Staff, Lieutenant General Attahiru, and 10 other Army officers. As you know, they died in a plane crash on Friday in Kaduna State, and they were buried on Saturday. at the National Military Cemetery, Abuja. If you're watching our live stream, you can see some scenes from the funeral. Our live stream is Nigeria Info 99.3 on Facebook, also YouTube Nigeria Info FM. If you're watching the live stream, you're seeing scenes from the funeral. Nigeria Info 99.3, that's Facebook. Nigeria Info FM, that's YouTube. And the president did not attend the funeral. Neither did the vice president. And a lot of Nigerians have been expressing their displeasure about this. They felt that the president, as commander-in-chief of the armed forces, should have been there. This was, after all, an army chief who died on official assignment. And we are, after all, in the midst of a counterinsurgency. But other people have said, it's not a big deal. There's no law requiring the president to attend an army chief's funeral, insurgency or not. Also, on Saturday, a group of governors were spotted at a wedding. It was the wedding of the son of Abubakar Malami, the Attorney General. The governors who were there were Bello Matawale of Zamfara, Aminu Tambuwal of Sokoto, Inua Yahaya of Gombe, Abdullahi Ganduje of Kano, and Atiku Bagudu of Kebbi. If you're watching our live stream right now, you can see pictures from the wedding with the governors at the wedding smiling from ear to ear. Some Nigerians are saying that this all sends a wrong message to the armed forces at a critical time. They say that it's bad for morale for soldiers to see that the top officers can die in the line of duty, and not only will the president and vice president not show up even though they are in the same city, but also governors will go partying at a wedding. Nyesom Wike of Rivers State also caught some flack over the weekend because he organized a political party rally in his state. Now, I want to know whether you agree with this or not. Do you think that the people who say that this sends the wrong message to soldiers are right? Or do you think, come on, people are making a big deal out of nothing? What do you think? Now, I should note that on Sunday, the president phoned the wives of the widows of the dead officers. He also declared today a work-free day for the armed forces and also ordered that flags fly at half-mast. The wife of the vice president has been going around Abuja to see the wives of some of the other officers who passed on. Her team claimed that she's been doing that since Friday. But yeah, Lagos, I'm curious what you think. Do you think that the people who are complaining about the president and vice president's absence are making a big deal out of nothing? Or do you think that there's something there? Men, call me on 0700-993-993-993. Women, call me on 01465-7190. Men, 0700-993-993-993. Women, 01465-7190. You can also share your thoughts via WhatsApp. WhatsApp is 080-959-75805. And of course, there is always Facebook where you can share your comments. Facebook is Nigeria Info 99.3. There's Twitter as well at Nigeria Info FM. Hello to you. Thank you very much for calling. Sorry about that. Call back if you can. We've got Paul in Egbeda on the line. Hello, Paul. Welcome.
Hello, Sandra. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Paul.
Yeah, the Lord will strengthen you continually in Jesus' name.
Amen. Thank you.
Yeah, because you are doing the work you are doing. Sometimes I sit and I just pray for you. You know what?
What?
Sandra, I don't know. I cry. I bleed in my heart. Because you wouldn't know the value of an individual until that person dies.
Okay.
And you won't know those who appreciate you until something happens to you. You don't know who is your enemy, who is your friend, until you are in a mess situation. For me, it's a dishonor and disservice to this nation for the president, the vice president, not to show up. Do you know in the state of affairs of management of this country, security-wise, after Mr. President, because the vice president is a spare tire, after Mr. President, the next person that can give order to the military for any reason is the Chief of Army Staff. And this is the man, a young man that is going from one region to the other in this country to make sure that peace returns to Nigeria. All of a sudden died. And the president and the vice president did not show face in the same city. And then our governors were lining up for a wedding ceremony. And you are telling me that as a Nigerian, I should go and die for this country? What do you think will be going on in the hearts of the wife of these people that died, and their children, and the members of their family? I mean, we are talking of patriotism, be patriotic. But the leaders who are leading us are not showing us that patriotism. They are not showing us that, okay, we want something. I'm telling you, it is a bad sign. Thank you.
Thank you, Paul, for calling. We've got Naomi in Lekki, who's a first-time caller. Naomi, hello.
Hi, Sandra.
Thank you for calling.
Thanks, first-time caller.
Yes.
I want to know where the compassion is for the people who have lost their lives.
Okay.
This chief of army staff was murdered, or he died. We are not sure where the causes of death came from, but he was in charge of a group of people who are supposed to protect lives. Right. Not one time have we seen a mass burial for these people. Not one time. We have never asked the president to come and publicly announce these deaths on screen. So why are we giving such visibility to these people who we know are corrupt? Why? We as Nigerians, we need to get our minds together. What happened to the lives that have been lost? Forget that. We're talking about the Chief of Army Staff and his people who have taken the money to protect these people. He died at the hands that he created. It's a situation he created for himself. He wasn't in office for too long. Too bad. What about the lives, the thousands of lives that the Army were supposed to protect? No one's talking about that. Everyone's forgotten about that. That's just my 2 cents.
Naomi, thank you very much for calling to share your 2 cents. 99.3, hello.
Hello, good afternoon, Sandra.
Good afternoon. What's your name, ma'am?
Thank God for meeting you. You know what? They say action speaks louder than voice.
Okay.
And the body movement of our president, that psychedelic way, have always shown that it's not very much 100% sound. So we should get that in mind. That psychedelic movement is still very much there. And the vice president cannot go without the approval of the president. He doesn't have to take things all by himself. He's a vice. And then also, from what I can read, with such deaths that took place, is that they might be angry with those soldiers that died, that they have not been able to arrest the Boko Haram by firing for 2 weeks without stop. Because if the soldiers actually bring up their weapon and continue firing for 2 weeks without stop, all of them will die. We will not be talking about Boko Haram. Do you mean Boko Haram? They are more than the soldiers. So I believe they have reason for not attending the wedding, and then the governor attending the party instead of the ceremony of the dead people. They are angry that they did not really carry out 100% action as regards to why they are soldiers. And you know the meaning of a soldier now. So invariably the remaining soldiers should go on with their intensive power, not really hearing from Buhari before they carry out their respective duty. And they did not know that they are working for God, not just the masses. because God is the owner of government, and they are to give account to God. And so if they too are like as academic as the way the president is doing, who is an old man, so it will be recorded against them. So to fight Boko Haram with the soldiers that are so intelligent and with so many weapons of Nigeria around, and yet they are threatening the nation, whom are you going to blame? You know, when they go outside the country, they are counted as number one. They are, now that they are in their country, they cannot do what is expected of them. They should go on firing for 2 weeks without seizures. That's what happened. That's what makes a soldier different from policeman, different from Air Force man. Soldier is more of a more.
Hello? Okay, I think that call ended. I find it interesting that Mrs. Aigbe says, that government is for God. I thought government was for the people, by the people. Anyway, let's move on to our second story. The government says that they won't need you to submit your IMEI numbers. They'll just get it from the telcos. So remember on Friday, I told you that the federal government wants the IMEI numbers of every phone number of every Nigerian in a central database. You remember we talked about that on Friday? Now, if your phone's IMEI number isn't in the government database, you won't be able to connect to your telco. Now, when the news broke, a lot of people were debating whether or not they want to give their IMEI numbers to the government directly. But now the government is saying that they will get the IMEI numbers from the telcos themselves. Ikechukwu Adinde is the NCC's Director of Public Affairs. And he put out an official statement on their website. It says, quote, "The Commission is in the process of deploying a device management system, DMS. The DMS will essentially protect subscribers against phone theft and will identify and enable the elimination of fake devices from the networks. The system will capture IMEI automatically without any requirement for subscribers to submit same," end quote. So now there's a debate about data privacy and consent. Those who support the new policy say it's a good thing. They say that it will help government block stolen phones from being used on the network. But those who oppose this policy say that this thing can be done without government collecting everybody's IMEI in advance. They say that all government needs is a blacklist or a block list. If your phone is stolen, you report it, and at that point, you give consent for government to get your IMEI from the telco's records and block the number. Now, you're probably asking, Sandra, what's the big deal? I didn't listen to you on Friday, so what's the big deal? What's the difference? Well, those who oppose the plan say that IMEI numbers are sensitive information. For example, a government agency with your IMEI can pinpoint your location. On Friday, I told you that the Saudi government has been using IMEI numbers to track down women who fled the country. So the critics don't want government to have that information on everybody. They want it to be a case-by-case basis based on either a report from the owner that their phone was stolen or a court order for government to get a specific number for a suspect. I foresee a future where Nigerian lawyers actually take the government to court over this thing because they think it's a breach of privacy. But I want to know what your thoughts are. Should government need your consent or a court order to get your IMEI number? Or do you think that they should be able to get everybody's IMEI from the telcos right away, like they're suggesting? Women, call me on 01465-7190. 01465-7190. Men, call me on 0700-993-993-993. Yes, you can still talk about the first story, but you can talk about the second one as well. Again, women, 01465-7190. And men, 0700-993-993-993. Tega is in Aja. Hello, Tega.
Sandra.
Good to have you here. Good afternoon.
Yeah. My can I comment on the
first story? Yes.
First story, okay. Well, it's quite unfortunate, and my sympathy go to the family of the late general and other. But now I want to say there, when Abacha died, we were all happy. Back then. But now I want to say here, if I am Tega today, I have bad influence on this country, I should die. Anyone that has bad influence on this country should die. That's why I see it. Thank you.
Okay. Wow. 99.3. Hello.
President Sandra.
Good to have you on the show. What's your name?
Oh, good afternoon. Long time. This is Chris.
Hi, Chris.
Thank you very much. Enough of blame game. President Sandra has been saying it. President Muhammadu Buhari and the Vice President Oshibajo, they are the most luckiest people who ever had to govern this country. Despite all the happening, Nigerians are still taking side with this set of people. And today, look at where we find ourselves. Now, people are complaining, how come he didn't go to the burial? Neither him or the vice. And they tell us he had his own style of governing the country. Why are we complaining? Today we believe in this set of people. All the wrongdoing happening. People are still making excuses. Sandra, you will hear somebody will call, making excuses for the president today. Since morning or since that Friday this thing happened, I never hear anybody who called and said, no, this man should quit. Neither him himself to come out and talk. We always call on radio. Burutai is talking. Burutai was there for 5 years. He didn't do half of what this young man did for about 3 or 2 months, and he got disappointment. Today the man is gone. And we are blaming him, he didn't go to the burial. We should just tolerate this set of people. Come 2023, I hope Nigerians will put their heads together. Thank you, President Sandra.
Thank you, Chris, for calling. Let's go to Facebook where we have lots of comments. Atandaka Samuel says, let Isa Pantami stop this, Joe. Ruben Aigbowo says, this is prying into subscribers' privacy and I oppose it. Aniaka Nya says, before we start this project, Pantami has to go first. All right. We've got more messages here. Charles Ogechukwu says, because the funeral was in Nigeria, if that funeral had been in the UK, both of them would have attended it. All right, Lagos, you're listening to Hard Facts on 99.3 Nigeria Info. We start Mondays by bringing you the bigger stories from the weekend, and we'll continue after this break.
99.3 Nigeria Info. We'll be right back.
Hi, people. How far now? See, if any kind person say you want the coded password for your bank app, I be your PIN, I be your card PIN, I be the TIN number where they for the back of your card, your pay ID, I be the answer for your security question. I beg not give them all. All this information, them supposed they coded. You're not supposed to share them with anybody. Make you wise up. Not make that scam you. This message now from Kuda Microfinance Bank, the bank of the free. Make you download Kuda for Play Store or for App Store to open account. Make you start to enjoy our Wolf banking.
The best of talk radio to start your day. The Morning Crossfire with Sheriff Quadri.
It is government silence and the silence on the part of the rest of us that have fueled all of this insecurity. Even from Lagos to Ibadan now, you need the blood of Jesus.
This thing is a political game. Jordan Barras, the others and the rest. The men of their wives are widows. They have been paid 60,000, 100,000. You today have not paid my children's school fees. Even in our group chat, if you say anything about your boss or you complain, they will block you and remove from you. Because I've seen the truth.
The Morning Crossfire with Sheriff Quadri. Weekdays 5 to 9 a.m. on 99.3 Nigeria Info.
My car was parked in front of my house and was vandalized. My neighbor said he actually looked through the window and saw the people taking out stuff from my car. He said he couldn't tell me and his room is opposite mine.
Imagine that.
Let's talk.
99.3 Nigeria Info.
Your number one station for talk. Let's talk.
It's 28 minutes past 3. I am Sandra Ezekwesili, and you're listening to Hard Facts.
The big weekend.
We took a break after talking about our second story, and I wonder if you have thoughts concerning that story. Remember, of course, that I said the government says they won't need you to submit your phone numbers, your IMEI numbers. They'll just go and get it from the telcos. I told you on Friday about the federal government's new policy where they want the IMEI numbers of every phone of every Nigerian in a central database. And if your phone's IMEI number isn't on the government database, you're not going to be able to connect to your telco. Now, when that news broke, a lot of people were debating, oh, I'm never going to do it. I'm never going to do it. Well, now government says you actually don't need to do it. They're just going to get it directly from your telco. And I wonder what you think about that. Do you think government should need your consent or a court order to get your IMEI number? Or do you think that they should be able to get everybody's IMEI from the telcos right away, like they're suggesting? WhatsApp is 080-959-75805. The phone numbers to call are 01465-7190. Women call that number. Men call 0700-993-993. You can tweet at us if you want to. Tweet us at Nigeria Info FM. You can also go to Facebook, Nigeria Info 99.3. Let's talk to Obinna in Ojo. Obinna, how are you? Welcome.
Good afternoon, Sandra.
Good afternoon, Obinna. Welcome. Go ahead.
I want to talk about this, the second story of the government collecting our IMEI. You know, there's one funny thing. For me, I think maybe what they want to do is because they now notice that most Nigerians are always saying the truth. And now, if you can criticize the government or say what is not good to their listening ears, they will pick you up. And I think maybe a time will come, maybe we'll even stop calling the radio show.
Okay.
So, well, for me, what they are doing is not good because every Nigerian needs his own private. Because they always put the law that is not really benefiting the Nigerian. I could remember when the president said, if you didn't wear your mask, you'll be jailed for 6 months or for 6 years, as they said. But if you go to where the top government officials are holding parties and doing whatever they are doing, you hardly see them even obeying the protocol of the coronavirus everything. So to me, it's not too good.
Okay. Obina, thank you very much for calling. On Twitter, Uko Ben says, this says a lot. Our leaders are preaching patriotism and they are not patriotic. Very disheartening. Uko Ben, thank you for your message. John Bosco Walemighty says, I think the VP himself has no bearing when it comes to this kind of thing. The Nigerian COAS that we're talking about and many more generals and other officers involved, as Buhari being the Grand Commander of the Armed Forces, he should have shown face that day. All right. Let's talk to Stanley in Ojo. Stanley, how are you? Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Stanley. Go ahead.
Okay, I want to contribute on the two of the stories.
Yes, please. Go ahead.
The first one was, I read that the president said...
Stanley, could you reduce the volume of your phone? Maybe it's very loud, so we're not even hearing you.
Okay.
All right, that's good.
Okay, I read that the president said that there are the protocol that the president cannot leave the villa in within 2 days. So I don't know how factual is that. But for the second story, the government does not need permission on us. Already the telecommunications, you buy a new phone and immediately you put the phone and you start browsing with it. Immediately they are picking everything that has to do on your phone. That's why you see the automatic connection when you have to configure your phone. So I don't see anything that is a big deal. What are they telling us that they want to take permission? If they want to do it, they know what to do.
They don't want to, that's what I'm saying. They don't want to take your permission anymore. They're just going to do it.
And that's what I'm saying. They don't need our permission. Okay. They are just looking for a way to make people be busy. My daughter people will say, make the place busy.
Oh, so you're saying that this is not a problem, you know? They should go ahead and take it. Okay.
The telecommunication has all the data of the phone.
Exactly. Yeah. The telco has your data, but government doesn't have access to that data unless you give government. Hold on, Stanley. So hold on. So the telco has that data, but the only way the government can access that data is number one, you either give them consent to do that by reporting your phone is missing, or number two, they get a court order to do it. Now they're saying that they're just going to have access to that data. They don't need you to give your consent. They don't need a court order. You're saying that that's okay?
At that level of governance, between trade and governance, we don't have that information. But under normal circumstances, if government feels that we want to do a security check with the on Nigeria.
The question is, should government have the right to take that data from the telcos without your permission?
We don't have rights.
Sorry?
We don't have rights.
Do we have rights? Shouldn't we have rights?
Do we have rights?
Should we not? We actually do. The Constitution protects your right to privacy, so we do have rights.
Right in Nigeria. Let us we need to recheck. There are so many things we need to recheck. But there are so many things we need to recheck. There is no more rights. It's just on paper.
Okay. All right. Stanley, there's no more rights. It's just on paper. I mean, even if you believe that we don't have rights, are you okay with the fact that you don't have rights? All right. Let me go to WhatsApp where we've got comments. Government can collect IMEIs from telcos, but cannot install an AI to trigger locations where kidnappers make calls and track them and their families' lineage down. The government needs to be proactive. All these news are distraction. They should be using court orders. All right. Thank you for your message. Here's another message here. Johnson says the government doesn't need to collect IMEI to get criminals like kidnappers because IMEI can be changed by criminals. What they need is technology. Interesting. I didn't even know that. We've got Aking who says the media is not asking the question I want them to ask. What they should be asking is, why did the plane carrying the Chief of Army Staff crash? Not why did Buhari or Shimbajo not go to their burial? Well, we can ask both questions at the same time. And the media is also asking why that plane crashed. Because that's not the only plane that has crashed in recent times. We've had at least 3 plane crashes in 2 months. So the media is asking all kinds of questions. And you can ask several. I mean, do you know how many questions I ask every day from one story alone? All right, we've got Lekon from Ikorodu who says, first, it's not important for the president to be at the funeral of the Chief of Army Staff. He might have other things lined up. It's a sudden situation. Everybody has other engagements that need urgent attention. After all, senior government officials were there. Second, considering the IMEI, with the present condition of insecurity around us, I support the government to go ahead and do the right thing for once in Nigeria. That's a message from Leko. Leko is in Ikorodu. Thank you very much for your message. Sandra, even God knows that something is wrong. I mean, wrong in capital letters with the Nigerian army. Why they couldn't defeat Boko Haram, plus how Nigerian army aircraft is shutting down from space. Up until now, we don't know where Nigerian Tucano jet fighter is, including the pilot. Another military aircraft falling down again in about last month. Now the big blow of Army General aircraft falling down from space again. 3 military aircrafts falling down within 6 months. President Buhari is not being very upright. Nigeria needs forensic experts to unravel what is happening. All right. Olaide Cruz, thank you very much for your message. Hello, good afternoon. Okay. 99.3. Hello.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. What's your name?
Mr. Dixon.
Welcome, Mr. Dixon. Go ahead.
Yeah, it is a breach of my fundamental right for the federal government to take my IMEI to track or pin down to know where I am or where my phone is. I think and I think the legal bodies in Nigeria should rise up to challenge it, because it's a breach of every Nigerian's right. It should stop. I don't know what they are turning this country to. It means we do no longer have freedom of expression. But like somebody said, calling your radio station most people are going to withdraw. It's going to affect every aspect of our life in this country. I think they should have a second thought. And the third one is the wife of the president did not go to visit the woman who lost her husband and other generals too. It's the wife of the vice president that is doing that. So what is actually going on, Sandra? Thank you.
All right. Thank you very much for calling. Well, I should mention that the wife of the president went today, I think, to visit some of the widows. We've got a message here. You didn't leave your name, but you say that you disagree with the government's plan to get your IMEI number from your network provider. Should this happen, MTN will go down, losing millions of subscribers. They should not even think about it. All right. Keep the thoughts coming in. Let's move on to our third story. It broke during the weekend. On Thursday in Oshodi, Air Force personnel clashed with NURTW members. It all started at Kappa Motor Park. The Air Force men went there because 2 days before, armed robbers murdered their colleague on Oshodi Bridge. So they went to the park to ask the NURTW chairman whether he had any information about it. But allegedly, other NURTW members at the park thought that their chairman was being arrested, and they started stoning and attacking the servicemen, who now shot back. After that, there was chaos in the area. Motorists abandoned their cars on the road. People fled from their shops. Passengers were stranded. And of course, thieves and vandals took advantage and raided everything in sight. Now, if you were in the Kappa Motor Park area of Oshodi on Thursday and you witnessed what happened, or you felt the after effects, I really want to hear from you. Tell us what you know. Tell us what you saw. In the past few months, we've seen the NURTW get involved in fight after fight. We saw them clash with RTEN workers, for example. In fact, after that fight, the state government stepped in to mediate, not to arrest anybody, to mediate. Now they're in a fight with the Air Force. But notice how this fight started. The Air Force went to ask the NURTW chairman if he had information about a murder. So essentially, the Air Force was recognizing the NURTW as an authority in that area. Now, the union isn't the police and it isn't the elected local government. So the question is, why is the union now the authority to be asked about a crime in an area? Are there other government responsibilities that have been handed over to the union? Women call me on 01465-7190. Men call me on 0700-993-993-993. Did you witness this clash? Did you witness the after effects? What do you think about this clash itself? We've got Toyin in Lagos. Hello, Toyin. Welcome to the show.
Hello, good afternoon, Sandra.
Good afternoon, Toyin.
Yeah. There's a song that says, see, I used to tell people in this country, there will be a time, people will no longer fear army. Yes. Because every internal problem, the next thing, government don't deport soldier to go and quench instead of police. Now people are no longer fearing police. Now soldier. That's why those guys were able to stand army that day. Yeah, it's because we have used to put to army now. So it's getting worse. So the time will come, people will just be going to barrack to attack army.
Please, no.
Because people are not afraid of army any longer. Who dare you those days? You fear for you to stone army man. Now people are beginning to stone in army man. Okay, thank you. Bye bye.
Tony, thank you for calling. I'm not comfortable with the glee with which Tony was talking about that particular incident. I mean, we shouldn't be assaulting officers. That should not be happening. That's number one. Number two, I don't want to live in a Nigeria where Nigerians feel like they can storm the barracks. I hope that never happens, ever. I hope not. We've got comments on WhatsApp. IMEI can be edited, true, so this will not hold water. As for the air crash, it was said 2 people jumped out with parachutes. I don't know how true that is. Well, you're the first person I've heard it from, so I don't think that's true. We've got Eking in Satellite on the show. Hello, Eking, welcome.
18.
Eking, welcome. Go ahead.
I want to use this medium to express my deepest sympathy to the families of those who lost their loved ones. I know what they are passing through. It's not easy. It's a colossal loss. Then the president not attending or vice or the VP. Maybe I would say I'm not taking excuse. You might have some issues. I don't know who put the president. Anybody know what the president was passing through at that moment during this event? Was Mr. President at Abakari? I mean, Jonathan was in a Kanu the day after Chibok were kidnapped. PDP governor dance during the electoral campaign.
And at the time, the president and his party condemned Jonathan for doing that.
Yes, what of a UK that was receiving defectors to his party? And in the Cross River State, the PDP secretary.
You didn't address the point I raised. I said when Jonathan did it back in 2014, the president and members of his party condemned what he did. There's no difference
between the past leaders and the present leader. They are all the same. They have the same attitude.
Oh,
they are insensitive.
I thought that you started the conversation trying to defend the president. That's why I raised that point. But now you've ended with, well, the president and the previous leaders are the same.
Yeah, and in Cross River State, PDP secretary was converted to APC secretary. So all these events and the Malami somewhere they whatever. So you can blame whatever they want to blame. Whether past or present, or they are all the same, even the future. So they are from the society. With the society, we have bad character, we have bad behavior. So we are not going to get different leaders with that past or present or in the future. Thank you.
Thank you, Etim, for calling. We've got Ufoma in Magodo. Hello, Ufoma.
Oh, good afternoon, Sandra.
Good afternoon. Welcome.
Yeah, you are welcome. Well done for the job you are doing.
Thank you.
Let me just emphasize, throw light on two of the questions you mentioned earlier. Number one, the issue of the president not being the trainer bearer of those, and I don't think that there's no big issue of this. He has sent his condolence and also he communicates with the wife of the disease. So I don't think that Nigeria to attach too much importance to it. So prevention, if president was there also, there will say another thing to say. So there's no more issue to bother on that aspect. Concerning the governor that went to wedding, I think that the wedding had defeated already. So people raising nice brother, we lost some people. Yes, it looks so painful. But in other side, the wedding had already ceased before the incident happened. Can you ask the governor not to go? The people already invited and all the preparation. So sometimes, what do we really need in this nation? Is it to complain or to focus in the right direction? So most of the arguments people are raising as brother, blaming the president, blaming the people that went. I don't say there is no water about it. So the best thing that let's just believe God that if such a thing will not repeat itself again.
All right, Ufoma, thank you very much for calling. Our final story from this weekend: Southwest APC leaders are supporting the Asaba Accord. This weekend, they had a meeting to discuss national issues. Bola Tinubu was there. Bisi Akonde was there. Segun Oshoba was also there. They also had the House of Reps Speaker Femi Gbajabiamila there, and governors like Sanwo-Olu of Lagos, Abiodun of Ogun. And after the meeting, they put out a statement of support for the Asaba Accord. Specifically, the Southwest, I don't know why I'm saying Southeast, Southwest APC leaders endorsed the plan to ban open grazing across the South. They also endorsed the plan, the call for state police, and the call for the president to address the nation. So the political analysts are calling this significant. Remember that the Minister of Justice, Abubakar Malami, had dismissed the Asaba Accord, even though it was signed by governors from the president's party, the APC. So there was a question mark about whether Southwest APC leaders would agree with the AGF, who is assumed to speak for the president, or whether the Southwest APC leaders will agree with the governors from the south. And I guess that question has been answered now. And I want to know what you think. Did Southwest APC leaders do the right thing by supporting the Asaba Accord? Were they correct to endorse the open grazing ban and to ask for state police? Men, call me on 0700-993-993-993. Women, call me on 01465-7190. We've got Facebook, where you can share your thoughts as well. Facebook Nigeria Info 99.3. Twitter at Nigeria Info FM. WhatsApp is 080-959-75805. We've got Oladikbo on the line. Oladikbo is no relay. Hello, Oladikbo. Welcome.
Good afternoon, Sandra.
Good afternoon.
This is Pastor Ladipo calling from Orilegom.
Good to have you on the show.
Yeah, my take this morning, first and foremost, we can't make any excuse for the president for not attending that burial. Now, today the president declared work-free day for the armed forces. Does it mean the enemies we are fighting, are they always going on holiday? Is it not better for him to attend that burial to show empathy as the leader and commander-in-chief of the armed forces and reassuring every other person that, yes, this tragedy has happened. It is not human making, but maybe natural cause. We encourage the people. That is on one side. On this Asaba Accord, if there's anything wrong with the Asaba Accord, my take in all these things is this. If we have a system that is functioning, there are so many things that will take care of itself without anybody. Some people will come up and tell me that, do you know how many security they have to put? This is the president of a nation. The late Yasser Arafat have to visit Israel against security advice to condole and console with them. How come that we've come to what sign or what message are we sending to those in the theater, in the room? They have serious implications. It is well with our nation. May God deliver this country.
Oladipo, thank you for calling. West is in Ikorodu. Hello, West.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Yes. Can I contribute just short on the first second?
Contribute on all of them if you want to. Go ahead.
Yes. Yes, on the first. You see, I don't blame president or vice president because within the time 6 years he has been there fighting insurgency, there are so many Air Force, soldiers, even Navy that have been killed. Extra head, you have the same head just as the chief of army staff, and they die on the same job. So I watched one air officer, one air commander on channel when he said, when he was commenting on this issue, that they have, when they signed to be part of this force, they have signed their life because they know the implication.
Yes, but the chief of army staff, is quite different from, just your regular GI. This is the first time the head of a military branch has died on active duty during this administration. So it's not quite the same thing, is it?
I will argue with you that it's not different. It's a human. Number one, it's a human being.
Yes, of course.
Number one, he died on the course of his duty,
and he died with 10 other high-ranking officers.
All of them. Do you want to count thousands that have died before him?
Yes, but all of us cannot get state burials. Some human beings get state burials. It doesn't mean that they're not human beings.
All those ones that got state burials, do all the presidents or they attend? No, That is about that. That is my opinion about that.
Okay.
On the IMEI,
IMEI.
Yeah, IMEI, yes.
Yeah, yes.
You see, the point is that you gave us wrong information before on this platform.
Yeah. Call back West if you can. Unfortunately, we need to take a break, so I can only take comments from WhatsApp. Sandra, IMEI. Oh no, I think I've taken that message before. Hello, Sandra. That's a message from OC. OC says we should understand that the president has people who manage his movement in terms of security. The president may have wanted to go, but his managers may have, due to security intelligence, told him not to go. Security details understand these issues better than we do. All right, Lagos. We'll take a break. When we come back, we'll take a few more comments. Don't go away.
You are listening to your number one station for talk.
99.3 Nigeria Info.
99.3 Nigeria Info. Let's talk.
Indulge and get lost in the deeply satisfying taste of the Chi Exotic range of delicious fruit blends.
Chi Exotic Nectar. I love the taste. Now available in can.
The best of talk radio to start your day. The Morning Crossfire with Sheriff Quadri.
It is government silence and the silence on the part of the rest of us that have fueled all of this insecurity. Even from Lagos to Ibadan, now you need the blood of Jesus.
This thing is a political game. Jordan Barras, the others, and the rest. The men of their wives are widows. They have been paid 60,000, 100,000. Today I have not paid my children's school fees. Even in our group chat, if you say anything about your boss or you complain, they will block you and remove from the group. Because I see the truth.
The Morning Crossfire with Sheriff Quadri. Weekdays 5 to 9 a.m. on 99.3 Nigeria Info.
My car was parked in front of my house and was vandalized. My neighbor said he actually looked through the window and saw the people taking out stuff from my car. He said he couldn't tell me and his room is opposite mine.
Imagine that.
Let's talk.
We're back.
We're back.
We're back.
We're back.
We are back.
We're back on 99.3 Nigeria Info.
4 minutes to the top of the hour. I've got a message from Uche. Uche from Orile says, Sandra, is the security situation so bad that even the National Military Cemetery has become a no-go area for the president when all the service chiefs will be there? Jackson from Surulere says President Buhari also failed to attend the burial of President Shagari. He has also refused to give us media chat. If he won't talk to the living, is it now the dead he will see? All right, Jackson and Uche, thank you for your message. More messages coming in via WhatsApp. We didn't finish the message from OC. OC says that let's not make the man look wicked when he is not. Let's assume he went there and something bad happened to him. Do you know the kind of tension that Nigeria would have been in by now? Buhari is not bad, or no man would be intentionally hardened against his own household. Let's think twice. OC, thank you very much for your message. We've got Samken John Oga, who says, Sandra, the Southwest BMC are on the show today. The struggle from some callers to defend the president's absence from Attahiru's burial makes me puke. Samken John, thank you for your message. Why won't NURTW attack or not have fear for the naval officers? It's simply because when politicians have made joke of forcemen, the person who you see regularly, you might not begin to fear them, especially when you know that they're coming out for money. It cannot be compared. It can be compared to two types of masquerades: those who go begging for money, or the ceremonial fierce ones who have their dignity intact. Also, let's not overlook the reason behind the naval officers to have conversations with the NURTW head. If intel did not point them in that direction, that might suggest that the culprit is part of the NURTW workforce. But then again, why will the naval officers decide to take the investigative issues into their hands? Why didn't they liaise with the police officers? That's a message from Tony. Tony's in Aja. Tony, thank you very much for your message. Sandra, are they vexed for this country? Because if the world invites Buhari for summit, I think him go attend, Abi. What about this general where them die? Why no go? Chris from Satellite Town. Thank you for your message. Samuel from Lekki says, Madam Sandra, 2 wrongs do not make a right. So we should not be comparing Jonathan with the president on the burial of the Chief of Army Staff. The VP visited Reddington Hospital, Lagos. All right, Samuel, thank you for your message. Okay. I have never been so sad in my life as I was on Friday night. I cried throughout the night for the souls of those generals. I'm not happy with what is happening in this country. We've got another message here. Good afternoon, Sandra. I am not surprised that the president did not attend the burial of the Chief of Army Staff. During NSAS address nation when people lost their lives. He couldn't. That's a message from Prince in Ajah. Prince, thank you for your message. Mayor from Ajah says, from Tenny's lyrics, I go call MC Oluomo. I go report all of them for your case. So MC Oluomo is an authority bigger than the Nigerian police force, for your information, by the powers of the Jagaban. In a state of lawlessness, being law-abiding is a crime. Sandra, the control of the country has been lost to tribesmen. The citizens are the minority now. This person claims NURTW is bigger than the NPF in Lagos. Take it or leave it. And as for the Chief of Army Staff's burial not attended by GCFR, it speaks volumes. Okay. Well, thank you very much for your message. That's all the time we have. I wish we had more time to take on more messages, but unfortunately we do not. So let's bring you business news. After the business news, we'll bring you Checkpoint. Checkpoint focuses on security, and Chukwudi Ezugu will be here talking to you about that. I'm Sandra Ezekwesili. This is Hard Facts on 99.3 Nigeria Info.
And now the business news.
We are more than just radio. Subscribe to our YouTube channel at Nigeria Info FM. Check us out on Facebook at Nigeria Info 99.3. Follow us on Twitter at Nigeria Info FM and on Instagram at Nigeria Info FM Lagos for live updates as it happens. 99.3 Nigeria Info. Let's talk.